the people of Jordan and Israel were shocked by the change in the color of the water in a puddle near the Dead Sea.
That's where the Dead Sea is now.
Look! There, where he struck the river. He bleeds. The water turns to blood.
Which raises speculation that the apocalypse is near.
A pool of water near the Dead Sea in the biblical region of Moab, modern-day Jordan, has mysteriously turned blood red. Workers from Jordan's Ministry of Water and Irrigation are sampling water from the Red Lagoon just inside the Jordanian border to investigate the origin of the strange event. The photographs have generated a social media controversy, with blood-red waters having great significance in the Old Testament as one of the 10 plagues God sent upon Pharaoh of Egypt to release the Jews from slavery. Is it possible that the end times are approaching because this is one of the signs mentioned in Revelation 16:4? In today's video, we look at a shocking new finding made by experts in Jordan. The Dead Sea is a salt lake in southern Israel's Judean desert, bordered to the east by Jordan. In addition to being the lowest point on Earth, it is also one of the saltiest bodies of water on the planet, and its origins can be traced back around 4 million years. Its high salinity, well over 30%, means its waters are extremely mineral-rich, and the health benefits of bathing in the Dead Sea have long been claimed, despite the fact that the water is too salty to support marine life. People with respiratory disorders such as cystic fibrosis appear to benefit from the region's increased air pressure, while the temperature, humidity and minerals in the water make it an ideal setting for treating skin problems. It has also been suggested that Dead Sea mud pack therapy improves pain in patients suffering from knee osteoarthritis. The Dead Sea, on the other hand, has declined drastically in recent years, most likely owing to climate change. It is presently around 31 miles long and 9 miles wide at its widest point, but the Dead Sea's water level is estimated to have decreased by more than 131 feet since the 1950s and is now dropping by nearly 2 feet every year. According to the Society for the Protection of Nature in Israel, the Alexander River became blood red last year as a result of blood from slaughterhouses in the West Bank seeping into the river. In the first of 10 plagues that occurred as the Pharaoh's punishment for refusing to liberate his Jewish slaves, God transformed the Nile's waters into blood, killing the fish and preventing the Egyptians from drinking the unclean water. The eastern beaches of the Dead Sea, where the blood-red pond is located, are also the location of the 2 fabled cities of Sodom and Gomorrah before they were allegedly destroyed by God for their wickedness. Fathi al-Huwaimil, the head of the Al-Karak Council's Water and Agriculture Committee, stated that the authorities have been called to work on determining the source of the water. However, according to Jordan's ministry spokeswoman Omar Salameh, the reason of the enigmatic red waters remains unexplained for the time being. However, a few suggestions have been proposed as to why a lagoon isolated from fresh water may suddenly change colour. Yassin Al-Kasazbeh, Director of Agriculture in the southern Jordan Valley, told Roya News that this phenomenon occurs in ponds near oceans due to the presence of a special type of bacteria and red algae that enjoy salinity and change colour in the presence of sunlight. However, this does not explain why the water suddenly turned red, whereas neighbouring pools did not, especially given that the location has nearly year-round sunny sky. Other officials told media that the presence of iron oxide in the water could account for the peculiar colour change, but they did not explain how the iron oxide got into the pool or why the colour change happened so quickly. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Jordanian Geologists Syndicate, Sakh al-Nusur, told Al-Gad that the red colour may have been created by human intervention. Many Jordanians agree, accusing the government of concealing a source of pollution or of using the pool as a dumping ground for waste chemicals. Since the predictions about the end of the world predict that large quantities of water will turn to blood, the question arises as to whether or not the events we are witnessing now are also predicted in the Bible. According to Revelation 8:8, the second angel blew his trumpet, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. This verse describes what happened when the second angel blew his trumpet. Something resembling a massive mountain on fire splashes into the water. This massive object could be a meteor. The first trumpet predicted hail, fire, and blood. Some believe the first trumpet will be a meteor shower, heralding a far more devastating calamity as explained here. The reference to sea is distinct from the freshwater resources of Earth, such as lakes and rivers. Those will be affected by a subsequent trumpet judgment. Perhaps this judgment falls upon the Mediterranean Sea, which is under control of the beast described in Revelation 13:11-18. Though only mentioned later, this end-of-the-world figure will have arrived by this stage in the tribulation. The beast who dominates commerce during the tribulation period will suffer a significant financial loss as a result of the second trumpet judgment, since a third of the sea turns blood. This judgment reminds us of what happened when Pharaoh refused to allow the Hebrews escape Egypt. According to Exodus 7:14-22, the Lord told Moses to order Aaron to take his staff and stretch his hand over the waters of Egypt, causing them to turn blood. The Nile turned to blood after Moses and Aaron obeyed the Lord. God will punish the beast for oppressing those who refuse to worship the head of the revived Roman Empire in the same way that he punished Pharaoh for his suppression of the people of Israel. Water is also changed to blood in Revelation 16:3-6 with the second and third bowls of God's wrath. The second angel poured out his bowl into the sea, and it became like the blood of a corpse, and every living thing died that was in the sea. The third angel poured out his bowl into the rivers and the springs of water, and they became blood. And I heard the angel in charge of the waters say, "Just are you, O Holy One, who is and who was, for you brought these judgments, for they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink. It is what they deserve." Furthermore, the two special witnesses mentioned in Revelation 11:6 will be able to convert water into blood. All of these things happen throughout the tribulation period of the end times. The Dead Sea has significant biblical and religious importance. Various Jewish sects used to reside in caves around the Dead Sea during the biblical period, most famously the Essenes, who are said to have left the remarkable Dead Sea Scrolls in the caves at Qumran. The scrolls are a collection of about 25,000 ancient manuscript fragments, including the oldest known copies of Hebrew Bible books. They were discovered in the Qumran caves near the Dead Sea in 1946, and their finding was described as one of the most important archaeological discoveries ever made by biologist Oded Rehavi of Israel's Tel Aviv University. Archaeologists are currently painstakingly piecing the scrolls back together. The legendary cities recorded in the book of Genesis, Sodom and Gomorrah, are thought to have existed on the Dead Sea's southern shore, while Ein Gedi, now a nature reserve near the Dead Sea, is mentioned in the Bible as the area where King David hid from Saul, the man who famously killed Goliath. In the modern era, scientists from Israel and Germany found in 2011 that the Dead Sea floor includes fractures that allow fresh water to rise up from beneath the seabed. Despite the fact that the salinity of the water makes the environment unsuitable for marine life, many species of bacteria and archaea live on the sea floor and feed on the minerals that rise up through the fissures, while the area's atmospheric pressure, warmth, and mineral-rich water make it a popular tourist destination with mythical healing properties. The Dead Sea, according to Islamic beliefs, is the location of the ancient city of Sodom, which was the home of the prophet Lut. The people of Sodom are described in the Quran as ignorant, sinful evildoers who reject God's call to righteousness. These individuals included murderers, thieves, and those who publicly engaged in sexually immoral activity. Lut steadfastly proclaimed God's truth, but to no purpose. He discovered that even his own wife was a disbeliever. According to belief, God brutally punished the Sodomites for their wrongdoing. The penalty, according to the Quran, was to turn the cities upside down and rain down on them brimstones as hard as baked clay, spread layer on layer, marked from your Lord. Quran 11:82-83. The location of this punishment is now the Dead Sea, which serves as a metaphor of destruction. According to the Quran, the location of this punishment has been left as a sign for those who come after. Surely, in this are signs for those who understand. And verily, they, the cities, are right on the high road. Surely, therein is indeed a sign for the believers. Quran 15:75-77. For this reason, devout Muslims have an aversion to the Dead Sea region. For Muslims who do visit the Dead Sea, it is recommended that they spend time recalling the story of Lut and how he stood for righteousness among his people. The Quran says, "And to Lut too we gave wisdom and knowledge. We saved him from the town which practiced abominations." Truly they were a people given to evil, a rebellious people, and we admit him to our mercy, for he was one of the righteous. However, recently credible news reports have also shown water turning a blood-red colour in Nootdorp, the Netherlands, Bondi Beach in Australia, the Beirut River in Lebanon, a river in Zhejiang Province, China, and even rainfall in Savanagala, Sri Lanka. So what exactly is going on with water turning blood red? Are the prophecies coming true? Tell us in the comments.